Primetime local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Good evening, welcome to Primetime Local News. I'm Jasmine King. Saskatchewan is reporting 2 new cases of COVID-19, bringing the provincial total to 815. 43 cases are considered active and 757 have recovered. 4 people are in hospital, 2 receiving inpatient care in the north and 1 in Saskatoon, while 1 other person is in intensive care in Saskatoon. The Lloydminster Cultural and Science Centre is officially closed and Council is looking at options for the new artifact's new temporary home. Eric Bay has more on the LCSC's past and what's next for the centre.
For more than 20 years, the LCSC housed displays like the Imhoff paintings while providing a place for young artists to hang their works for visitors to see.
We walked over here so many times for programs and just to sketch in some of the areas of the cultural center. It was their only moment to shine, to have a piece of artwork hanging up in the gallery here, in a gallery space. It's not the same to hang it up in the school or on mom's fridge. It's just not the same.
Now the center's doors are closed as the city explores buildings that can hold the displays before the artifacts can be moved.
I think that the conditions are ideal, that when someone hopefully gives us a time frame, we should be very close to that to delivery. In the past, that has always been a challenge when things are really busy and that, but I think that there's enough people, enough contractors and subcontractors willing to go to work as soon as possible.
The city is also looking forward, taking the time in a temporary location to fully plan a permanent facility for the LCSC.
Either work backwards and say we're building this building and wait many years to raise the money, or we say we have this much money, this is the building we can afford to build. So I think there's going to be lots of discussion going forward in the future, and that discussion I understand hearing from residents in the city has already started in the fundraising side, and I applaud people.
Those discussions include community groups pushing for a new long-term home in 5 years instead of 10, which is when the city's lease would end on a new facility. A leased building will be decided at Council on July 20th. Eric Bay, Primetime Local News.
The Lloydminster and Area Brain Injury Society is holding a raffle to raise funds for their programming with a chance to win a travel voucher. Jace Mackey spoke with Michelle Newfield to learn more about the raffle and the organization.
I'm joined today with Michelle Newfield. She's from the Lloydminster and Area Brain Injury Society. Thanks for taking some time to talk with me today.
Yeah, no problem.
So the main reason I wanted to talk today was just about a raffle that your organization is putting on. But first, I wanted to just discuss what it is that your organization does in the community.
Yeah, so this year actually marks 36 years that we've been here in the community. And we provide free programming and resources for people who have sustained brain injuries and their caregivers and just for the community here in town.
Now, I know June was Brain Injury kind of Awareness Month, and so now it's July, but I think it's still important to always discuss these issues. What are some things that people can do to make sure that they're supporting maybe people that they know or people in the community that may have brain injuries?
Yeah, you know, it was Brain Injury Awareness Month in June, and so it's kind of nice to just draw attention back to our organization since we are small and we don't get a lot of traction sometimes here unless you're actually looking for our services. But, you know, just knowing that we are available in town for your loved ones and family members and to not hesitate to reach out because we can hopefully help in some way and just help bring that awareness to brain injury and to, you know, have that support here in our community.
And like I said, the main reason I wanted to talk was the Dream Vacation raffle that's being put on by our organization. Can you just talk a little bit about the raffle and how people could take part?
Yes, so we have a Dream Vacation raffle right now going on, and it's for $20 a ticket, and you can win your chance at a $10,000 trip voucher. We understand that circumstances right now, no one is probably really thinking about traveling at the moment, but I think it's just something that, you know, gives us something to look forward to for sure, and that this voucher at least is redeemable for 2 years after the draw date. So this gives you lots of time to plan a wonderful holiday because there's lots you can do with $10,000. So yeah, all the money then and the proceeds will come back to our organization then and stay right here in the community. So.
And for people who are interested in taking part, how are they able to do that?
Yeah, you can call our office or you're able to drop money off, drop in, or even, you know, it's easier just to e-transfer right now. We're kind of trying to make it as easy as possible. So just get in touch with me and the office and we'll figure something out for you.
And when it comes to COVID-19, how has the pandemic impacted how the Lloydminster Area Brain Injury Society is able to provide their services?
Well, unfortunately, we did close our doors these past couple of months. And I mean, isolation is one thing that affected all of us during this time, but that is also a big player when it comes to people who have sustained brain injuries. So this was a tough time for everyone. And but just as of July here, we started to kind of slowly open our doors and hopefully, you know, regain some of that interaction that people are much needing during this time. So.
And you mentioned earlier that you're kind of a smaller organization and people might not know about you if they're not looking for your services. So how can people find maybe some more information? I know you guys are opening up a little bit more.
Yeah, you can jump on. We have a website. It's just labis.ca. You're able to kind of find more information on us that way. And, you know, I always encourage people to sometimes stop into the office, and that way you can kind of take a look around and see what it is that we do here. And hopefully, you know, I can help give some answers and kind of help also break that stigma that's attached to brain injury too. So.
Perfect. Well, thanks for taking some time to talk with me today, Michelle.
Yes, thank you very much.
Now our Connor Chan will take a look at your weather forecast.
All right, thanks very much, Jasmine. Taking a look right now, 21 degrees right now for us is the daytime high right now with some sunshine. Of course, we experienced a fairly heavy pour this morning with close to maybe close up to 10 millimeters of rain, as well as that wind factor as well. But it started to die down now for the evening, and we could see a little bit of a break for right now until we get into maybe Sunday and Monday, where we are expected a little bit more showers right now. So 21 right now, the daytime high, as well as 21 in most of the general Lakeland area here, 21 in Marway, Vermilion, Vegreville, 22 out in Edmonton and St. Paul and Lac La Biche. Bonnyville sitting at 19 degrees. Cold Lake also sitting at 22 right now. Provost sitting at 22. North Battleford and Macklin both sitting at 21 degrees. 18 in St. Walburg, Meadow Lake, and in Green Lake as well. Now, as we take a look at the satellite radar map, not as much activity as there was earlier in the day in terms of the amount of precipitation. We still see that cloud coverage and that little bit of movement from precipitation moving past Lloydminster, going out further kind of east. And over in the Alberta side, yes, we are expected to get a little bit more. So the cycle kind of keeps itself going there with Edmonton getting a little bit of showers in the next couple hours, as well as into maybe even to tomorrow as well. But as we take a look at North Battleford overnight, clear skies overnight with 10 degrees, and then 26 tomorrow, the daytime high with the sun and cloud mix there. 11 degrees for Cold Lake with 26 degrees tomorrow with some showers expected for tomorrow as their daytime high. And for us here in Lloydminster, clear skies overnight with 11 and 25 degrees tomorrow as our daytime high with sun and mostly cloudy skies ahead. So here's a look at the next 3 days right now. As I did mention, we could possibly see some showers over the next 3 days. So tomorrow we could get a little bit of a break from the rain, and then 19 degrees the daytime high for Sunday, and then 17 degrees the high for Monday with a 55 and 64% chance of some showers. We could see maybe just up to 2 millimeters for Sunday, and then maybe up to 4 for Monday with the volume of rain that we could be expecting. But that is a first look at your weather forecast. We are going to have more primetime local news after this.
In a year full of unknowns, senior baseball players now know they will be having a season. Evan Kenny has more ahead of the upcoming baseball season.
A few months ago, nothing was for certain, let alone minor baseball. Flash forward to the present day, and baseball in 2020 is not just a thought, it's a reality. Phase 1 of Baseball Sask's return to play plan was announced on June 16th and set in place on June 22nd. Phase 2 started on the 29th and allows associations who haven't held registrations or evaluations yet to do so.
No, we didn't. We had our registration before COVID hit. So we actually, I think we set a record for the most number of kids out for our tryouts with like 34. So.
Lucky for the Northwest Prairie Pirates 18U head coach Dan Keck. Keck is being blessed with the numbers, especially in his pitching rotation.
Oh, we have so much pitching depth, it's unbelievable. From our first years right to our third years. I know we had a rough season last year, but I see a whole new attitude. We added a ton of depth. We got 17 guys now versus 12 or 13 that generally showed up last year. So I mean, I think we're a whole new team, and I'm just positive.
Hopefully we'll be better than last year. I think we will be. Our group is looking good, so I think we'll be better than last year.
Something Stevenson knows all too well. Stevenson is in his final year with the team and his final year of minor ball.
Yeah, most of these guys I've played with my whole life, like small town, of course. So play with the same group growing up the whole time, and yeah, I think it's really great that we get to finish off our minor careers with each other, and just even the short little season that we're playing. It's all really we wanted.
But I was disappointed to see that, grade 12 kids didn't get to have a full season. So to have us all out here is great, to say the least.
The team will play an 18-game schedule in 6 weeks, including games against a new 4th Saskatoon team, the Sask 5 Giants. The Pirates will kick off their regular season tomorrow when they travel to Saskatoon and take on the Cubs. Evan Kenny, Primetime Local Sports.
Now our Connor Tan will take a look at your weather forecast.
All right, thanks very much, Jasmine. Taking a look right now, still sitting at 21 degrees, 21 also out in Red Deer, 22 in Rocky Mountain House, 21 also in Jasper and Whitecourt. Athabasca sitting at 19 degrees right now, 22 in Cold Lake right now. Over in the Saskatchewan areas right now, 19 degrees in Saskatoon, 24 in Melfort, 23 degrees in Prince Albert, and 21 also in North Battleford, and 18 for Meadow Lake. Here's a look at northern Alberta and Saskatchewan, 20 degrees in La Loche and Buffalo Narrows, 23 for LaRange, and 21 and Flin Flon as well, 21 in South End, 22 for Wollaston Lake, and 24 degrees out in Uranium City. Now in northern Alberta, 22 in Peace River, 22 for Grand Prairie and Fort McMurray. Fort Chipewyan sitting at 19 degrees, 20 in High Level, and 18 degrees down in Slave Lake. As we move down south to southern Alberta and Saskatchewan, 22 degrees in both Medicine Hat and Lethbridge, 20 in Calgary, 21 for Coronation, and 18 degrees out in Banff. Over in southern Saskatchewan, 23 degrees in Regina, 26 in Estevan, and 24 degrees out in Yorkton, 14 degrees for Swift Current, as well as 19 degrees in Kindersley. Now, as we take a look at temperatures across the country, Regina experiencing some showers right now, sitting at that 23-degree mark, 26 in Winnipeg, 33 degrees in Quebec City, 32 in Toronto, and 28 in Halifax with 13 degrees in St. John. Over in further west, 19 degrees in Vancouver with some sun and a bit of clouds there, 20 degrees in Yellowknife, 15 in Whitehorse, and 22 degrees in Edmonton with some cloud coverage. As we take a look at tomorrow's temperatures heading into Saturday, 25 is the common number we'll see around our region here as well in Vermilion, Marwayne, Maidstone, Lloydminster, Vegreville, Bonnyville, and St. Paul. 26 out further west at Edmonton, as well as 26 in Provost, in Macklin, and Wainwright as well. St. Walburg also sitting at that 26-degree mark, as well as in North Battleford and Meadow Lake. Green Lake, the only one sitting at 27 degrees tomorrow. So here's a look at the next 7 days. We could have a little bit of a break from all the showers there on tomorrow, like I mentioned there, and then we could go back to those rainfall on Sunday with that high of 21 and with a 55% chance of some showers. 17 on Monday, with a 64% chance of showers. 20 degrees on Tuesday with cloud coverage there, as well as on Wednesday, we could get a little bit more sun there. 23 on Thursday and 22 on Friday, averaging around 22 degrees for our daytime high and 11 for our daytime low. And in terms of the rain we possibly could be getting on Sunday and Monday, we could get possibly up to 5 millimeters of rain there on Monday, and then as well as up to 1 millimeter there for Sunday as well. Of course, we did experience that downpour this morning, which led to a lot of heavy winds as well, that eventually cleared up by the time we hit the 1 o'clock mark this afternoon. But that is a look at your 7-day forecast. We'll have more primetime local news coming up after this.
I'm joined here with Rory Christie, and he is with First General Services. Now, this time of year is when we are seeing more storms and more extreme weather. What are some of the biggest tips you can give homeowners to keep their houses secure?
One of the biggest things that you can do is make sure that your guttering is on and then it's working properly. Also, too, to make sure that your sump pump is properly connected and that it's operating properly as well.
And what are some of the biggest precautions homeowners should take if they see a storm coming in the forecast?
Again, making sure that your guttering is in place and that it's operating properly. Also, too, make sure that your sump pump is operating. Take the float valve and check it to make sure that it's going to turn on and turn off. Check to make sure your check valve isn't stuck open or whatever. So some people may not know where these are, so you may need to consult the internet or your local plumber, and they may be able to steer in the right directions.
And if people see signs of flooding in their home, what should they do?
The first thing would be to try to check those common things, like I said, to see if there's something that they can do to stop it, whether it's plugging the sump pump in or making sure that it's draining properly. If not, then calling a plumber or a restoration company like ourselves would be your next best bet to get somebody to be able to guide you in the right direction. And then the main thing would be get those personal belongings like pictures and stuff like that off the floor. Often they're in the storerooms or wherever the case may be, and protect those things that you can't replace.
And what are maybe some common mistakes people make when they're trying to help their home during a storm?
Well, I guess there's not really any common mistakes that they make. It's more the maintenance. It's more taking care of the home to prevent the mistakes. That's where maybe people forget or don't know or become remiss. Yeah.
And what would you say are some of those maintenance that they need to check up on?
Again, like I said, making sure your gutters aren't blocked, that they're on properly and they're diverting water away from your home. Making sure that your yard is draining properly away from your home. Don't I guess make sure that your sump pump, every spring you should be checking that to make sure that it's operating properly and there's nothing impeding its movement.
And what are some of the best items in case of emergency to have on hand?
Probably a shop vac could help you remediate some of the water. Often having a backup, a sewer alarm is a great investment for a lot of people to have, so that way they at least know when the water's coming in. Having an additional, if you have a sump pump, have a backup sump pump just in case, because things do break down. So.
And how often does First General usually get calls during storms in this time of year?
Unfortunately, too often. There seems to be no shortage of bad luck for people. So.
And is there anything else that you would say that is just a big tip that you would want to give people in case they have a storm coming?
I guess make sure your yard is properly maintained and your drainage is working properly around your home, so that way you're not going to put yourself in that situation where you have to rely on a sump pump or other methods to take care of it. So.
And for First General, if someone runs into something that happened during lightning or maybe a tree fell awkwardly on their home, is that something that you guys come and you can help take care of?
Absolutely. We are an emergency service. We have a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week service. So whether it's Christmas Day or your birthday or whatever the case may be, we can have professionals there to take care of it, to remove trees, to help get you set up so that you can transition out of your house and not have to worry any further about things going wrong or that. We try to help make your life easier is our goal. So.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Rory.
You bet. Thanks for having me.
There have been some big winners at Virtual Fair this year at the Lloyd X, and you could be the next big winner at the Gold Horse Casino here in Lloydminster. It reopened this week, so you can head out to the Gold Horse Casino between noon and 2 a.m. And there are different protocols that are going to be in place when you head out to the Gold Horse Casino. You do need to check in either by swiping your Players Club card or registering with a name and phone number. There's going to be different sanitization and cleaning processes that are in place. You do need to wear a mask if you're headed out there, but they will provide one to you when you arrive. And there's going to be plexiglass and different things that you will notice in the casino to make sure everybody stays safe and stays healthy. The Gold Horse Casino here in Lloydminster has reopened. Also, the Gold Eagle Casino in North Battleford has reopened as well. The Country Store in downtown Lloydminster has reopened. You can stop by and see them Tuesday to Saturday from noon until 4. If you're looking for antique furniture, country decor, they've got beautiful wall art. Maybe you're searching for that perfect gift for a birthday present for this summer, or maybe you just want something to make you smile. The Country Store in downtown Lloydminster has reopened. And virtual fair continues at the Lloyd X, and you've got an opportunity to check out a huge fireworks display. Saturday night drive-in fireworks. They're going to get underway at about 11 o'clock, but if you want to get all the details, you can go online to lloydexh.com. Great way to wrap up virtual fair with a huge fireworks display. Well, whatever you choose to do this weekend, we hope you stay safe and stay healthy.
What's Open is brought to you by Northern Factory Workwear, Circle Drive East, Saskatoon, Highway 17 South, Lloydminster.
Furniture set and design supplied by Furniture Gallery and Furniture House, downtown Lloydminster.
Well, it's time for our weekly entertainment panel. I'm joined once again with Abby St. John. Abby, one of the big things this week was Hamilton was on Disney+. That was the most anticipated thing of the summer because it's such a well-beloved musical. It's won all these awards. So how big of a move was this for Disney to have this popular musical on their streaming service?
I think it was a huge move on their part. Hamilton they now currently hold the record for the most Tony nominations with 16. They fell a little bit short and only won 11 awards, and they were 1 award short of matching the record 12 of the producers who holds the record of most wins. But most notably, Lin-Manuel Miranda, he wrote and he composed the entire musical. He won Best Musical, Best Book of a Musical, Best Original Score, and then the show also won Best Actor, Best Featured Actor, Best Featured Actress, Best Costume Design, Best Lighting, Best Direction, Best Choreography, and Best Orchestrations. This musical was phenomenal. About 98% of the entire show is all song and music. There's little to none dialogue. It's all said throughout the music and the songs, which makes it one of the best musicals I've probably ever seen.
And just to give some numbers here for the viewers, it went, the Disney Plus app downloaded 74% more times in the US in all of June because they obviously knew that Hamilton was coming out. So of course that was a lot of excitement around there. Sticking with Disney Plus though, Abby, there have been talks for a while about, live action movies and especially, straight to Disney Plus live actions. We saw that with Lady and the Tramp, and we're going to see that right away actually with possibly maybe the Peter Pan live action, which of course casted Jude Law recently as Captain Hook. They've already casted their Peter and Wendy as the young kids. So for Jude Law to join this cast, that's pretty much a big deal, eh?
That is a huge deal, especially since the 1953 animated version of Peter Pan is still today the most successful adaptation. The other two that they had done in the past with Hook, with Robin Williams, and then with Pan in 2015, they didn't do as well as the original 1953 version. So this is definitely going to be a test, and I think Jude Law has a lot to offer. He's a great actor, and I think he can portray that kind of smug, overconfident Captain Hook that we've always known. Now they are going to be releasing it in theaters. It isn't going to be on Disney Plus. It's going straight to theaters because of the success that they've had with Aladdin and The Lion King, bringing in so much money. I think, going off of those, if they go with that path, I think that this could be a successful film, and hopefully it is, with it being named Peter Pan and Wendy. So I feel like it's going to be revolved more on their storylines, which is nice, not just, Peter Pan being this young boy who never wants to grow up. It's really going to follow both characters as it should.
And one of the rumors going around was Margot Robbie's name was thrown in that mix to possibly play Tinkerbell, but of course those are just rumors. So speaking of Margot Robbie, it was also announced recently that she will be in the new rebooted, or the new Pirates of the Caribbean movie. How big of a move is this for Disney to grab such a high-tier actress like Margot Robbie? And of course, there's also the petition to get Johnny Depp in that movie because he is such a big part of that Pirates world.
Yes, I think it's a big move to get Margot Robbie. She's just coming off of huge movies, Bombshell and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Everyone knows that she's a great actor. She's proved time and time again that she has range and she can play any character. Now, the plan for this movie is it's not just a continuation of Pirates of the Caribbean that we have known for many, many years. It's going to be an original kind of version of it, starring an all-female pirate crew. Unfortunately, with that being said, I don't think that they will go down the route of having Jack Sparrow come back. As sad as that is, because Johnny Depp did make that role so famous, and Captain Jack Sparrow is known throughout the entire world. So it's going to be a little bit of a twist, kind of how they did with Ocean's 8, making it an all-female cast. But this is going to be more of an original story and follow an all-female pirate crew, which I think is going to be interesting. But Margot Robbie, I think, was the right choice to lead that group.
And lastly, Abby, a little bit of somber news in the entertainment world. It was reported that Naya Rivera, who is best well known for her role as Santana on Glee, they were lost at sea. Then her son was found in the boat. Now, of course, she was reported missing, but now it is now listed as a recovery mission. For someone like yourself that has watched Glee, and for many that have watched Glee, she was a big integral part of that series, given her, her heritage and her orientation as well there. So, how big of a loss is this for the Glee community?
I think this is a tragic loss no matter what. She has a 4-year-old son, and the fact that they can't find her body and, reports are saying that they may never be able to recover it is very tragic and very sad, especially in Hollywood. Santana Lopez, the character that she portrayed on Glee, was such a huge role, coming from the Latin community and being gay, openly gay, and seeing her coming out throughout Glee. That was a huge character and a huge moment for the show and for the LGBTQ plus community, because her character was so strong. And personally, Santana was my favorite character. I thought she was witty, funny, she was powerful, and so it's a huge loss no matter what. But the fact that she made such an impact with Glee, it's going to be a huge loss, and it's very heartbreaking that she's gone so soon. She's only 33 years old, and her 4-year-old son, unfortunately, has to grow up without her, and that's very sad.
Absolutely. Well, Abby St. John, thank you very much for joining us once again.
Thank you.
Taking a look at your 70 forecast one last time here. 25 degrees tomorrow, 21 on Sunday with possibly some showers, as well as on Monday with that high of 17. 20 on both Tuesday and Wednesday, 23 on Thursday, and 22 degrees for Friday.
Now we'll be taking a look at your pet pad winner. Again, thank you to everyone who submitted your pictures to our Facebook page. So the winner is Minnie. Thank you so much for submitting that picture, Shailene, and we will be contacting you of how you can pick up your Pet Pad gift card. Thanks for joining us for this edition of Primetime Local News. Have a great weekend.